Hey folks, welcome to week 9. It is acting week. You get to read chapter 7 in the textbook, all about acting, and you get to make a scene, either with family or with yourself if you wish. Do the old TikTok method of talking to yourself if you so desire. A lot of your early responses in the class, this is where a lot of you were very curious about acting and trying to develop skill. I'm sad that we can't spend a whole lot of time because there's just a lot of material to cover, but this is my bread and butter. It's what I like to do, teach acting and directing. So today, you'll notice I'm not in the library in the basement. I am outdoors because one of the biggest pretense that I understand about acting is that acting is doing. There is a specific style of naturalism in Western culture that states that acting is doing and then reacting to whatever stimuli is coming your way. So I thought I'd come and get a little extra stimuli out here in the world because it's a beautiful day. First video for today is about history. That's kind of what the first part of the textbook is about, starting from Greeks all the way through to the development of the method. The book sets up acting techniques in sort of two different ways, representational and presentational, or actually reverse that in Greeks, all the way through to sort of our understanding of psychological truth, that we're dealing in presentational, which means large, and you're dealing in big spaces. And so you need to project, you need to present a play as opposed to represent truthful living. And then as we understand psychology more, as spaces start to shrink, we start doing theaters indoors because we can light things with electrical light and or gas light. Then we start looking at trying to present life in a truthful way. And of course, then we get cameras. We are able to capture acting. And so when you can get this close to a screen, you can tell whether someone is telling the truth or not in their eyes. And so the method derived from the system by Stanislavski starts talking about how to respond truthfully in imaginary circumstances. So enjoy this first video. I will say that it doesn't talk specifically about it, but I do want to bring up and highlight an idea that we had in the very, very first days of, I think it was chapter 2, maybe 1 or 2. We were talking about what types of tools an actor uses to portray a character. This is back when we were looking at the three things, essential things you need for theater. So you need an audience, you need an actor, and you need space, right? And in that actor portion, we talked a little bit about persona and about the mask. And when we're talking about representational or presentational acting styles, the mask is important because the mask doesn't necessarily go away. And one of the arguments between during the development of the American acting method that the video is going to talk about is this idea that you are either putting that persona on and use it as an imaginative filter through which the character is perceived, or you're using your own sense memory, and there's a very thin line between you and the character. And I'd like you to think about that as you watch the next video. It's from a film website, a film educational program called Film IQ. But it is really specifically mostly about theater. And so I'd like you to take a look at it. It does a really nice job of summing up and giving different contexts for the history of the practice of acting. Enjoy.